Raj, what do you think it means to be authentic?
It has to come. There's only one, There's only one authentic. It's not tailor-made. It's the way it is, and the way you see it, the way you are, and with it's raw. It's it's not adjusted or tailor-made for this audience or for this guy, or it's just saying the way it is and be real, and not beautified, not made rougher, just
Just
that's
be
what
you,
it is.
yeah.
That's the way I see it.
There's a lot of influence these days, People want that or be somebody else, or kind of envy what somebody else has, and they start acting a different way. You know how that,
Yeah.
I feel like even the biggest thing for me in my career was I'd compared myself with some of the greats of our sport too often, like I wanted, of course, get there, but I started comparing myself and wanting to be like them, and I realized that I found myself discouraged a lot, because I'd look at all that they've done, or trying to do it the way they did it, and how they did it and how I did it. You know what I mean? We're all uniquely, there's some things that can translate, but we're all unique in our own way, and not being two-faced either. I always believe that being real and authentic and dealing with you, like how you saw me now is how you saw how I was at home, and how the people see me on the whether it's on stage or on the platform that we kind of in that spotlight. I want to be that person, because I don't want to be known as that two-faced guy either. Somebody who I'm not, and I know that. That'd bother me. But why be anybody? We get to be. You get to be you.
Yeah.
You get to do it the way, the style, your way, uniquely. And you said it best, is that nobody's gonna do it like you. I mean,
Of course, you take your guidance from what you see around you, and you choose what kind of person you want to be, and sometimes you cannot live up to that, maybe, but that's the goal.
Yeah. Would you agree, it's good to have mentors and good mentors and role models, and good habits and things to pick up from, but not to become that person?
Yeah, I think
Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course, having following good examples and all that is great. But I think you also have to be careful not to try to be everything,
Right.
and you have to be yourself, and if you try to be like everybody, that you see around you, or I think you lose focus, and it's like taking advice. I think it's good to get advice. It's important to get advice, but you should pick, especially an athlete. I think you should pick a very few people to take your advice from. I feel, because they around athletes, especially when you're upcoming and when you're on the way up, everybody wants to be your friend, and they all have advice for you, and they all think they're the smartest and the best, and pretty soon you're trying to, be what this guy wants you to be, what that guy wants you to be, and
It's almost like if you don't have a goal and don't know where you're going, you're going to conform to be who somebody else wants you to be.
yeah.
You're not going to be you.
Did you ever felt like you were not being authentic, maybe not 100% authentic at some point with something, or?
Yeah, I feel like the biggest thing that I would be tempted to be unauthentic about, or kind of got into that messy situation, it was always dealt with money and contracts, and when you're renegotiating that new contract, I think I would kind of remember I'd get off track a little bit, and remember, I'd have to bring myself back to the roots. Like, I don't do it for the money. I never did it for the money. I did it because the passion, the enjoyment, and from the heart. But I'd always kind of, that money subject would get brought up, and then, you know, of course you want the highest dollar. You kind of start thinking about, well, what can I do to make more money? And that's when it was always because the motive was wrong, I feel, for me. I was always thinking about the wrong thing. I forgot why I did it, and yeah, I mean, when greed and all that stuff kind of gets involved, it kind of messes with all your thinking, and it kind of...
But there is a fine line, because as a professional athlete, you know, you have to make your living, and you know, you cannot just accept anything.
Right.
So you need a good balance on a fair value, and it has to be fair for the athlete, fair for the team. And Ryan and his dad had come to us at the races.
Millville.
At the national, and come and talk to us for some advice, and that was just, you know, we are in our honing by our semi, and they came from the outside and basically on the fence, and talked a little bit, and I thought you were really inquisitive, and, you know, wanted to learn something, and Ian and I, we spoke. Hey, this kid, you know, he seems to be a nice kid, and maybe we should look into it a little more, and let him ride our bike once to see, you know. And then I ended up talking to your mom, and we made arrangement to fly you to California, and we had a practice day with Ricky that day at Glen Helen.
Yep.
And Ricky's mechanic at that time, Gosler, was there, and his son was there also.
Drew.
Yeah,
That's
Drew
right.
was there, and
I
he was riding, and at that time he was working for Carmichael, and he was busy and all that, and he was on the track, and then finally Ryan got to ride the bike, R250, which was I thought a pretty good bike at the time, and the first time you went out, you did quite a few laps actually, and you came in, and you started talking right away, and I was surprised that you were not winded or anything, you know, because especially with the pressure of, you know, first time on a factory bike, I thought, this kid he must be pretty healthy, you know. He must be in pretty good shape.
You must have missed my crash in the mud at my very first lap out. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Tipped over in the mud.
Yeah. I was just
a little nervous.
That was a little tip over.
Yeah,
it was not a big deal.
Yeah.
And and so I was quite impressed, and then we made a deal like a race by race deal, pretty much with you, mostly with your mom. I corresponded at that time.
Yeah, I remember thinking even if I didn't get the ride that day, I was thinking, well, I got to ride a factory bike for a day. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then top it all off, Ricky was there.
Yeah.
That was even a little bit more.
More pressure.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's like I'm still like, wow. There's Ricky. I'm, you know, kind of just starstruck.
Walking side by side.
Yeah,
and,
he's just chilling
and Ricky loved to rub it in too.
Oh,
you know.
he wasn't afraid to give me some grief.
Yeah. It's good memories.
Yeah.
Really cool.
When we did finally start winning championships in 2015 after 3 years of hard work.
Yeah.
And you know, there was times we disagreed, and we got in our clashes, but we always came back together, and we always worked towards, and you guys worked so hard, and it just was so rewarding, you know, that, like, especially taking I mean, it reminds me back to when coming from Minnesota. Nobody's won a championship from Minnesota. How am I going to be one of the greats? How am I ever going to? And now I'm pro, and now I'm trying to believe in myself. How am I going to win a race? I'm not supposed to win a race. I'm from Minnesota. I don't ride all year. Yeah. And now we're, you know, here we are at KTM. It's like the night before the championship of Houston. I'm thinking, man, you know, we're about to do something that is people said it wasn't
First,
possible,
yeah.
you know, and it's hard to wrap your mind around it, but I always took it like, no, then you're just being tested. It's going to be great, and try to see it in a positive light, and we did. And 15 was probably the easier of the championships, 17 being the hardest, but those 3 years of just Supercross consecutive titles with each other was, I never took it for granted because I know how hard we worked. And I know what we signed up for, especially the commitment. And I went over there because it was you, you know, it's because of you and Ian. And I trusted that if it was something, you've seen so much. And if you saw something that was out of line, you were going to fix it. And whether if it was bike mechanical, team structure, mechanics, if there was a weak link in the program, you were going to fix it, you know. And so and then the commitment we got from KTM, of course.
What is the big thing that you want people to feel and take away from being authentic?
Just be you. You know, I think just you're going to go a lot farther in life being who you are. Of course, we have different things that make us tick. We're all good at different things, and maximize the things that your interests, maximize what you enjoy doing, maximize the thing that you love doing. Don't try to be somebody else. I think you're going to go a lot farther in life if you focus on you, being who you are, staying accountable to yourself, being real towards other people.
Not everybody needs to fit in the exact same mold.
Yeah.
But the end goal needs to be like that, and you want to get there in a certain style, you know.
Yeah. I always like to think when you were born that God broke the mold. That was it. There's only one you, and that's it. And don't be somebody else, you know. There's a lot of satisfaction in being yourself, because you could get to the end of the road too, and then being somebody totally completely fake, and you're gonna know it, you know. You're gonna know it, that it wasn't authentic either.
Yeah.